What's up, you guys? We're going to be talking about Jon Jones and his possibility of fighting Tom Aspinall and who would win that fight. And we're also going to be talking about his fight with Stipe coming up. I haven't checked the line, but I'm sure Jon Jones is the favorite by quite a bit on that one. The thing about it is, I don't think Stipe has a chance, to be honest. I know that comes as no surprise to anybody. That's kind of how we all are right now with this fight. And that's why so many people don't want to watch it, and I understand that. I get why the UFC wants to make it, though, because the Tom and Jones fight is a lose-lose, if you think about it. Because if they're going to set Tom up to be the new champion and reign, they don't want his legacy stained by Jon Jones. And then Jon Jones is their champion, and they want to put him on a pedestal, and they want to, parade him around. If he loses to Aspinall, then, that's not going to look good. So they could be staining each other's careers. And so I almost don't want them to fight, but I'm going to get into the fight still. So hang on. Stipe, with that Stipe fight, I think Stipe is a little bit too sloppy. He looked a little sloppy when he was fighting Francis. I mean, he is fundamental and stuff, but he makes stupid, sloppy mistakes. Like, it might be an IQ problem or just, I don't know why, but he was fine in the Ngannou fight, the second fight. And, but like he negated a lot of the shots and this and that, and never took anything too flush, even though he did get hit hard pretty flush, but he didn't get that solid shot until he got put out. So I think he was doing good, but he rushed back in, which was kind of stupid in my opinion. I just think Stipe's a little bit too old as well. It's been like 3 years since that other fight, and that's a long time. That's a long time to gather rust. I mean, we've seen people gather rust whenever it was just 1 year. So, it's kind of, I don't see how he wouldn't have a little bit of rust or be a little bit too nervous or, he's worse everywhere. Even if they were the same exact age, height, everything, I think he's worse everywhere. I mean, Jon Jones, you can make an argument for the boxing, but Jon Jones has good boxing, man. Honestly, he has good boxing. So, and he's got elusive strikes, and he mixes in the wrestling in a different way than Stipe does. Stipe's just going to shoot, but Jon Jones is going to be crafty and smooth with it. Stipe's got too much on his plate right now as well. Honestly, he's got too much going on. You can't be a part-time fighter these days, especially not against the GOAT, the true GOAT. And heavyweight, I mean, he might be the GOAT of heavyweight in some people's eyes, but heavyweight's always been kind of a lackluster division. It's been the stupid big dudes who swing hard. It's been one of the most entertaining for sure, but definitely not one of the most talented. And Jon Jones really brings the talent to this division, and I think we're going to see that more and more. People thought that Cyril Gane was talented before Jon Jones did what he did. So whenever he is going to be fighting Stipe here, let's see. He's better at striking, more accurate, better submissions. He's just literally better everywhere in the stats, better accuracy, better at takedowns. He's going to be slicker. So I don't see how a focused Jon Jones is going to lose to a unfocused Stipe. The last fight, Jones' striking actually looked really good. He got off his favorite kick, even being at the heavier weight. He did look a little fluffy, but I mean, this time with more working out, hopefully he looks a little bit more tuned up, more muscle than fat. He had some pop in his shot. Honestly, he did. You could tell whenever he was striking that he had a little bit of pop in his 1-2s. His wrestling was supreme, though. He made Cyril Gane look like a child, and Cyril Gane is a big dude. He almost always gets a takedown in his fights as well. It's almost at 2 a fight, but there has been some fights where he hasn't got that takedown, but that was a few fights ago now. But I think he's likely to get a takedown on just about anybody he wants to. The UFC also wants Jones to win, like I mentioned before, just to kind of keep that legacy alive. And it's more marketable and more sellable, and you could get more off things out of the marketplace that way. I think that could sway a split decision, and I think that the ref favoring will be allowed as well. Jones always gets a little bit of favoring, and some people think that's deserved because you got to beat the champ, and the champion, he's been a long-term champion, so some people think it's deserved. I'm kind of on the fence. I don't really know, but on this one, I'm gonna give it to Jon Jones 100%. Out of 10 times, I think that Stipe might get one if Jon Jones slips on a banana pill or something. But Jon Jones is durable, man. He's super durable, and that's something we're going to get into in this next part. When it comes to Aspinall, I don't think Aspinall is going to win this one, you guys. I mean, honestly, I know he's a great hope. He's super slick. His boxing looks awesome, and he's a cool ass dude, man. Honestly, he's a cool dude. But, he got caught a couple times in that Sergey fight right in the beginning. He went in, made a little bit of an IQ mistake, swung hard, was hoping to get it, and then got popped a couple times, One thing that we haven't seen as well is Tom on his back. He doesn't get on his back, and that's to his credit. Honestly, that's to his credit. He doesn't allow people to do that, but Jon Jones is a master of disaster, all right? He can impose his will on just about anybody, on all the best fighters in the world, And not that Tom hasn't been showing us that, but he has a durability issue that he showed us with Blades. And Blades caught him a couple times. He popped him a couple times in that one. And so Tom does have a good chin, but he has a durability issue because whether it was the kick or a little bit of a flash from getting punched and everything else, I'm not sure what it was, but something caused Tom Aspinall to fail in that fight, honestly. And he lost because his body failed on him. And I worry about that durability in the Jon Jones fight. He cracked Sergey, but that wasn't Sergey's first KO either. I believe it was Overeem. I'll have to check. Let me see real quick. Actually, I think that's who it was, but I'm not going to check. He has better stats than Jon Jones, to be honest with you. But is that because he hasn't been in those championship high caliber fights? Some of the people that Tom has beat are excellent. Like Sergey, I give him that fight. Sergey's a beast, man. Honestly, people are scared to fight him. But like I said, Jon Jones is a master at the wrestling. He's got a 6-inch reach, which is going to allow him to grab the wrist and just be a nuisance, be a backpack, be a wet blanket on him whenever he wants to. And I think Tom's going to get frustrated with that because he's used to being slick and bobbing around. And, it does seem that Tom has the touch of death. That's something that I don't think Jones truly has 100%. Not as good as Tom. Because Tom will just put you out. And it didn't even look like the craziest shot ever. Just a nice clean shot that took Sergey out. And I think he could do that to a lot of heavyweights. I think he could certainly do that to Stipe, But, Jones is so focused and good, and he's never really shown a weakness. I mean, he questionably lost the split decision fights, but they could have gone his way too with the wrestling and the favoritism of being the champ and everything else. And Blades looked a bit good in this last fight against Tom, so I could see him winning the second fight. It's going to be a really interesting one. Let me see what else I got here. Jon Jones has got better distance control too. I think he's a master of that as well as the wrestling. He's going to be able to poke and prod and even slow Tom down and frustrate him as much as he wants to because everyone fights at Jones's pace. He just slows it down, kick, and then he'll kind of like sway around, and then like next thing you know, the other person's like slowed down too. So he kind of like hypnotizes them. It's pretty crazy. Let me see if I got any more notes here. And one other thing I just want to mention is that we really just gonna keep shitting on the GOATs all the time? Like, some of the GOATs get the most hate. Khabib, Jones, even Izzy, man. Even Izzy gets too much hate. And I've been guilty of it too. I've hated on Izzy too much before, honestly. And he's one of those people that you're going to miss when they're gone. And you're glad he's there to talk about because it's pretty boring. It's pretty boring when you don't have any fucking characters and then you just want everyone to shut up all the time. I mean, then go watch PFL or something, And it's like, it's ridiculous. Now, Guru, mma-guru, he's a talented kid. He's literally a talented kid, great at impressions. But, he's a social awkward, literal virgin, liar. So, how does he have any opinion on Jon Jones' sexual life? You know what I mean? He comes across as somebody who's just literally a virgin hater. And then he hates on like all these great champions. He doesn't like Khabib, he doesn't like Jones, but he likes people like McGregor who have like punched people, kicked people, done terrible things, backstabbed all their friends. I mean, you don't know the whole story, Guru. Okay? And it's just ridiculous. I could go on more and more about that, but it's just hilarious. The people that Guru likes, and then the people that he hates. But you guys shouldn't just listen to somebody like that. Make up your own opinion, okay? I mean, Guru's never had a real friend. It seems like. You hear all these stories, but I bet we've been watching him for years and years never have a real social life, okay? So it's a bit annoying that the goats like this get tarnished by freaking people that never go outside, okay? It's just silly. But like I said, I think Jon Jones is going to win, and hopefully ride off into the sunset, because he deserves it, man. He's been killing it for a long time, and they're all on steroids, honestly. And you don't know the whole story behind everything, so enjoy.